Tonight, there are growing calls for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign as he now faces six allegations of sexual harassment. New York's two Democratic senators, Kirsten Gillibrand and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, releasing a joint statement this evening saying it is clear that Governor Cuomo has lost the confidence of his governing partners and the people of New York. Governor Cuomo should resign. That's a very big deal. They have been keeping their powder dry, both of them, for the last few days. 16 Democratic members of New York's congressional delegation also came out against the governor, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. They joined more than half of the New York State legislature in publicly urging Cuomo to step down. The state's Assembly's Judiciary Committee has launched an impeachment investigation into Governor Cuomo. That is the second formal inquiry into his conduct, in addition to the state attorney general's investigation. We also have new reporting from the Wall Street Journal that the governor's office called former staffers after the first accusation of sexual harassment, which came from a former aide, to find out if they had heard from the accuser or to glean information about her in conversations that some said they saw as attempts to intimidate them. NBC News has reached out to Governor Cuomo's office for comment on this story. Rich as a party, a senior advisor to Cuomo who says he made at least one of these calls, told the Journal in part there was no directed effort. This outreach happened organically when everyone's phones started to blow up, adding that they didn't intimidate anyone. For his part, Governor Cuomo denies he has touched anyone inappropriately and insisted again this afternoon that he has absolutely no intention of stepping down.
I did not do what has been alleged, period. Let the review proceed. I'm not going to resign. I was not elected by the politicians. I was elected by the people.
In a new piece for New York Magazine, writer-at-large Rebecca Traister reveals more about the culture of harassment and cruelty in Cuomo's office, writing of a governing institution that has been run at times like a cultish fraternity and at others like a high school clique. And Rebecca Traister joins me now. This is a great piece and everyone should read it. I want to start with the news and then dive into some of the details in the piece. So it strikes me as an enormous deal that Schumer and Gillibrand came out calling for the governor of their state, of their same party, to resign is not a step I imagine they take lightly. What do you feel the same way about what that means?
I do feel the same way, although I also felt the same way last weekend when Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who is the state Senate Majority Leader in New York State, called on him to resign. I thought that was a sort of tipping point, explosive moment in this. I felt that way as the numbers of people calling on him to resign have grown sort of every day. I've been working on this piece, and there's half of my brain that's been saying, is he going to resign before I publish this piece? I thought that this morning as the numbers grew and I was waiting for the piece to go live online. Is he going to resign before this piece comes out? So yes, certainly it is a huge deal for Senators Gillibrand and Schumer and for members of the New York delegation. I mean, the New York congressional delegation ranging, from the progressive branch to the sort of more centrist branch to call on him to resign. And yet, he did not sound today like a man who was eager to resign.
So there's a bunch of different things going on here, and I want to talk about the kind of unified theory of it, because that's what's so good about your piece. So there's 6 women, 5 named, 1 unnamed, who accuse him of sexual harassment in sort of varying types and varying degrees of severity, I think it's fair to say. Mm-hmm. You've got the nursing home data cover-up, and then you've got the fact that, for the duration of his public life, Andrew Cuomo has been a bulldozer. I mean, you would kindly or charitably call he and his staff hard charging. You would uncharitably call them bullies. And you kind of make the case this all fits together. How?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, it's all about power. The accrual of power, the performance of power, the sort of monitoring and maintenance of power hierarchies, the making yourself big and making others small in order to prove how powerful you are. When it comes to Cuomo, I think it's often, looking back at his career, this is his 3rd term, power for the sake of power and not so much ideology or policy making. And it's a politics of dominance that is about being able to do what you want to do, to dominate others, to do so with impunity. And there's a source who said to me, this was a really incisive thing and sort of the point of my piece, the same attitude that emboldens you to target a 25-year-old also emboldens you to scrub a nursing home report. And it's this sense that you can yell at your employees, your critics, your rivals, you can threaten and scream and say, and have your top aides do the same. Say vulgar things in the New York Times about state senators with whom you disagree is the same kind of attitude that makes you think that you can touch people inappropriately, that you can demean and diminish and tokenize them along gendered and racial lines, that you can nickname them, that you can comment on their appearance when they work for you and sort of implicitly or explicitly require that they dress a certain way and wear heels. That's all part of this politics of dominance and subjugation that I think is really key to understanding not only how this man has behaved within his workplace and with his colleagues, but also when it comes to governance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to at home.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.